Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 1 in season number 8 of the NOFSRL Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. We are here at the Daytona International Speedway for the great American race, the Daytona 500. Today, 42 drivers will take to this 2.5-mile speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida, for 40 laps of action, 100 miles to see who will be crowned the Daytona 500 champion. This is the biggest race of the year on Napa Fan, and everyone wants to win it. And I'll ask you, Alex, what does it take to win the Daytona 500? We always see wild wrecks, wild finishes. Is it all up to luck, or is there a little bit of skill involved in this great American race?
I think it's really a mixture of both, to be honest with you, because you need to have the skill to be able to drive through the incidences that occur on track, and you definitely need the luck to be able to try and get through all those wrecks. But yeah, skill and luck, they're both a factor here in the race today.
And that's what makes the Daytona 500 one of my favorite races to do every single year. We race it at Daytona Speedway Physics, which means we don't have any restrictor plates on these race cars, and they're going about 225 around this place. But the outside lane can work, especially when you got about a 15-car pack. It can get very, very interesting. And lots of times in this race, we see cars that have been involved in prior accidents slow down the field and split the field up later on, and we only end up with maybe about 3 or 4 drivers in contention for the win. So it becomes a chess match here at Daytona, and it's always a fun chess match to watch. I am super excited. I will say I've been recovering from a cold the past couple of days. I might sound a little congested. I'm very frustrated by it, but you know what? I'm finally ready to do this. Alex is going to help me out here. And all 42 of these drivers are going to help us out with a great race here today for race number 1 in season number 8 of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. On Thursday, we had Zachary Fitzwater win duel number 1. He is the defending Daytona 500 champion here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Alongside him, it is John Andrews, who barely edged out Seth Cole at the line for duel number 2. Both of those guys start in row number 2, but row number 1 sees the number 47 of Andrew Miller, who 1 week ago won the pole position for the Great American Race. He starts alongside uncharted driver Julio Caesar for Zydell Motorsports in the number 10. But I'm going to ask you again, Alex. We got a lot more veterans in this race than we have in past years. Are the veterans going to have an advantage over the rookies in today's Daytona 500? We'll say the veterans have won the past 2 years here in the Daytona 500.
I think, yeah, the veterans are the bigger option here today because they have a lot more experience on this track compared to what the rookies have this year. But I'll be honest also that the rookies are definitely going to have a shot at the win today as well. I mean, this race is very unpredictable. It shows a lot of strength, a lot of luck. Honestly, at this point, I think it'll be a fair battle between the rookies and the veterans, but I think the veterans will be out on top once again.
We're just going to have to see. Like I said, 40 laps of action here at Daytona, and we're ready to get this one started. We have ourselves 4 past Daytona 500 champions in the field. They include the first ever Daytona 500 champion of Jesse Turner, the Season 2 Daytona 500 champion of Nicholas Samadio, the Season 5 Daytona 500 champion returns, Josh Marzak driving the number 34, and last year's winner Zachary Fitzwater in the number 9. And we are ready to roll off in the Season 8 Daytona 500, 42 drivers in the field, and the starting lineup will be shown right now. Last Saturday afternoon, Andrew Miller posted the fastest time in Daytona 500 qualifying. He is going to lead the field to the green flag in the number 47. Alongside him, it is uncharted driver Julio Caesar driving for Zydell Motorsports in the number 10. Row number 2, it is last year's Daytona 500 champion Zachary Fitzwater starting alongside John Andrews in the 04 in his first full-time Chick-Fil-A Cup Series season. Both of those drivers won their respective dual races on Thursday. Rookie Wyatt Quayle in his first ever Daytona 500 will be starting alongside Seth Cole in the number 83 in his second Chick-Fil-A Cup Series Daytona 500. The Season 1 Daytona 500 champion Jesse Turner will be starting 7th alongside rookie Lucas Jacobson. Hairgel Arvin Alonso for GL Racing will be starting alongside the Meliela Smooth Fest winner of Diego Yepes in row number 5. Rookie Mitchell Henderson, development driver to Stuart Gretton, will be starting alongside Season 5 Daytona 500 champion Josh Marzak. Row number 7 sees the number 97 of Stephen Thompson, the last uncharted driver in the field, alongside the 88 of Silas Orta, a rookie driver the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series making his first Daytona 500 start. Then in row number 8, Roger Ray and Michael Campto, both drivers in their sophomore seasons of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. All 42 drivers are rolling off, and it has been since September since we have raced for points in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Luke Rainey won the final race in Season 7, and today, somebody will win the first race in Season number 8. It's the Great American Race in Season 8 of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Andrew Miller and Julio Cesar are going to come into line and lead the field to the green flag. We are racing in the Daytona 500. Let's get this party started.
Coming into the end of lap 1 here, looks like Zachary Fitzwater is going to take over the lead here, only just edging out of 47
of Andrew Miller.
Yeah.
Pole sitter did not lead the first lap. Zachary Fitzwater gets the first lap, and he did that in the IROC race on Wednesday, where he shot to the outside of pole sitter John Arndt to lead lap 1. But Miller holding on in the outside lane. He's got help from Julio Cesar as they're 3 wide through the majority of the field. Fitzwater out front again in the Daytona 500, right where he left off from last year in the number 9 for Beast Racing. 2 laps led in a row, and that is significant because for the first time ever in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series, there are bonus points for leading laps and another bonus point for leading the most laps in a race. And in a strict points championship, every point matters here in the Daytona 500. Mitchell Henderson for North Star Racing on the inside lane with Stephen Thompson and Roger Ray, a great train on the inside lane. And Henderson's going to get a run to the inside with fellow Aussie driver Zachary Fitzwater, and they're 3 wide for the lead on lap 3.
Yeah, this is getting really interesting here, and as you said before, with bonus points going to a person who leads the lap and bonus points for leading the most laps, everyone in this race is going to be going for lead on every single lap. With Zachary Fitzwater leading those first 2 laps, that gives him 2 extra bonus points, I believe, into the championship hope, and that could come back and help him later on in the season.
It stands as of now that Zachary Fitzwater's led the most laps in this race, but if Mitchell Henderson leads 2 more, Mitchell Henderson is in position to get that extra bonus point. How about Stephen Thompson? First time in the Daytona 500 as an uncharted driver, raced his way in Duel 1 on Thursday, and he's now going for the lead on lap 4 in the Great American Race with help from Roger Ray and Trey Bartow. Stephen Thompson leads lap 4 in the Daytona 500.
Yeah, and Stephen Thompson running really well here, and I remember in the past, since custom racing came to the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series and custom teams, I remember running in that number 97, winning in Auto Club, and I mean, you know, right now seeing that number 97 out in front, especially with the sponsor Mellow Yellow, I am super super happy to see Stephen Thompson get the opportunity here to lead in the Daytona.
Yeah, you got a win in that ride at the Auto Club Speedway last year. So number 97 going for its second win. The Otter Island Motorsports team. Now Stephen Thompson driving this car all season as a part-time driver. He'll attempt to race his way into every race this season of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Still side by side with rookie Mitchell Henderson. Two rookies at the front of the field, and Henderson was able to lead lap number 5 here at Daytona. Here comes Roger Ray in the number 24. He has never won a race in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series before, but he had an exceptional, that's a good word, exceptional season in season number 7. Finished top 5 in the points, driving in the number 48. He's got help from Trey Bartow on the inside lane, and Roger Ray is going to take it away on lap 6. Bartow, Allen, and Alexander Rowe, 3 veterans all behind him on the inside. And right now the inside lane's working pretty decently, but the outside is holding on here at Daytona.
Yeah, I mean, there's very much so going on right now. A lot of pack racing here, which is actually very good with this, and I would be actually surprised with next season's aero package coming in how this pack racing is going to be affected. But for right now, I mean, this is all just pack racing right now, and it's definitely showing some interest. And with these drivers holding it 3 wide at the moment, it's really putting on a show for the fans.
It definitely is. We have yet to see 4 wide in this event. We've seen 5 flips so far throughout Meliola Speed Weeks. I'm hoping we do not see one here today. But either way, Roger Ray is going to lead 2 laps in a row. Here comes Trey Bartow. He's now driving for Titan Fury Motorsports. He's driving for Mobile One Racing last year. He's now got some teammates in Sebastian Cucalon and Brad Stover, and he's got the lead with help from Tristan Allen in the number 3. Tristan Allen still going for his first career Chick-Fil-A Cup Series points-paying win. And what a story it would be if he were to get that win here today in the Great American Race for Beast Racing. Beast Racing won this thing last year with Zachary Fitzwater. I know Marty would love to win it again with a guy who hasn't even won a points race in the Cup Series. Like I've said, we've yet to see 4 wide. If this thing goes caution-free, these guys might have to come down the pit lane and service their race cars because the fuel window is about 38 laps, but usually we get enough cautions where they don't have to worry about fuel. We haven't even seen 4 wide yet. We might not even get a caution in this race, but let me tell you, they're racing very interestingly. Little ways from the wall there is that outside lane. They're not close to the wall at all. And we got 4 wide. Nathan Baird in the number 40, a rookie driver. Will he go to the inside of Alexander Rowe? Looks like he will, but they're going to shift up and they're going to remain 3 wide here at Daytona. Tristan Allen to the inside of Trey Bartow for the lead. Bartow holding on in the 4. He's going to lead lap number 9 in the Daytona 500.
Yeah, I mean, definitely right now, Trey Bartow running really well, and even Tristan Allen, both Dodges in the field right now, running tremendously. And if you look into the top 5 at this point so far, majority of those cars in the top 5 are Dodges at the moment. So, I mean, the Dodge dominance from last season coming into this season, it's really interesting at the moment.
They hold more full-time cars in this series than any other manufacturer, so it's no surprise that they're running well here today at Daytona. But you got a Chevy on that inside lane. Rookie driver Carter Friesen in his first Daytona 500. He's in the number 68 for Full Frontal Motorsports, and his teammate, Diego Yepes, won the Meliola Smooth Fest on Friday. Last Friday. Wasn't yesterday, it was last Friday, but still. We know that Carter Friesen's a pretty good driver. Got a win, I believe, in the Turkey Hill Series last year, so looking to move his way up after being an owner last season. He's ready to drive in his first season of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. And same going for Nathan Baird in the number 40 as we got 4 wide. Wyatt Quayle to the inside of his teammate. Now we got 4 wide for the first time here today at Daytona. I don't know if this is going to work out. Carter Friesen in the middle. Tristan Allen, Trey Bartow. It's not going to work. It is.
Oh, wow.
They keep it together off the corner. Nathan Baird's going to lead lap 11, but I don't think they're going to be able to hold on for long. And the wall goes Bartow and around off to the trail. And they're going to pile up entering turn number 1. Bartow is destroyed. Andrew Ross, Garrett Zenor, Cody Sill. Ooh. Heavy damage. The 13 of Sebastian Cucalon, rookie driver in the Daytona 500, and Ace Garcia, last year's Daytona 500 runner-up, is junk in the number 81.
Man, that was
Race back to the line. They crossed the line before the accident occurred. And Wyatt Quayle, he might get the extra bonus point for the most laps led because he's going to win the race back and he'll lead all the laps under caution as well. So Wyatt Quayle for Full Frontal Motorsports to take the lead away on lap 13. John Arndt and Garrett Senor are, well, actually Garrett Senor's junk, but I don't know about John Arndt. It does appear to have a pretty clean race car. Joining the Elijah Gordon Incorporated team this year. A teammate to Emily Anderson. He might not get it done here today. Garrett Senor is done, and Trey Bartow is running up front when that accident occurred, and he is just toast in the number 4. Same with Ace Garcia, Sebastian Cucalon, Daniel McMillan with heavy damage in the 75, Cody Sill in the 37. Both of those guys flipped in the Smooth Fest. Patrick Smith, sophomore driver in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series for North State Racing, all torn up. And Tristan Allen was right in the middle of all that. Rear end damage to the number 3. Looks like Justin Roberts avoided. A lot of guys apparently avoided this accident. Looks like only about a quarter of the drivers were involved, so that's a good sight to see right there. Andrew Ross had a lot of damage in the 35. It's a tough break for him. He was the runner-up in the Turkey Hill Truck Series standings last fall. Doesn't look like it's going to be a Daytona 500 victory for him. And it's a tough one for Sebastian Cucalon. The last 2 openers that he's been in a series he's raced in, which is the Turkey Hill Series and the Turkey Hill Truck Series, he's won here at Daytona. It's not going to be 3 in a row for the Daytona openers and Sebastian Cucalon. Wyatt Quayle, the leader at Daytona. Doesn't appear that any of the leaders came down the pit lane. So they should be good on fuel as long as they run enough caution laps here, and I think they will. So we should be good to go and not have a fuel mileage race. Did see Zachary Fitzwater come in and Justin Roberts. A lot of guys still out there. We'll go ahead and assess the damage right now here in the Season 8 Chick-Fil-A Cup Series Daytona 500. Well, 4 wide at Daytona usually does not work, and they were able to survive off of turn number 4, which is usually the trouble spot, but it was off the tri-oval. Carter Friesen, Tristan Allen bumped into Trey Bartow. You see Matt Gallio avoids this very well. And then you see Roger Ray and Zachary Fitzwater bump in to Cody Sill, and all these guys get caught up, and I forget who moved up. It was Tristan Allen who moved up on Trey Bartow. And Andrew Ross had absolutely nowhere to go. Surprisingly, though, a lot of these guys avoided damage. Nathan Stapleton got caught up in the 28, unfortunately. His first season at American Motorsports. And then you see Roger Ray there, almost sideswiped the field. Thankfully, that did not happen to him. Cody Sill, Garrett Senor on the outside wall. You see Tristan Allen there in the 3. A little bit of a jam up back in here, but nothing major. Just a couple of taps. Those guys should be able to continue. John Andrews and Seth Cole.
I mean, if you look at Nathan Stapleton's car, you can see he probably got cosmetic damage and was able to continue, so I don't think that'll affect him too much. However, Cody Sill in the 37, as you can see right here, just keeps getting hit and hit and hit again.
It's not been a good speed weeks for either Cody Sill or Daniel McMillan at all. Both of those drivers flipped in the Smooth Fest. Both of them heavily involved in the first accident of this Daytona 500. Patrick Smith also ARCA braking right into those guys in the number 66. It's a tough break for the sophomore driver. Great to see him back in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series full-time. But it's not going to be a victory for him here today at Daytona.
Yeah, 4 wide. It just doesn't work at Daytona. And I mean, they did pretty well. And then just looking at the wreck, we got about 1, 2, 3... 4. Got a good couple of Dodges right there, which is basically the biggest manufacturer in the team or in the series right now, and all those Dodges wiped out from the 500, so that kills a lot of factory Dodge hopes from them. It's not a good day for those factory drivers.
Gonna follow along with Cody Sill. You're gonna see him get pushed down. The Trey Bartow right there. Fitzwater ran into him, and then he comes back up and runs right into Garrett Senor. Senor was going to avoid that one, but then the 37 came right up on him. You see Cucalon get involved, McMillan, Smith, Roberts got spun around there. A lot of guys got hit by Sill. A lot of these guys would have been fine if it weren't for the 37 coming back up there. Roger Ray with a ton of damage in the 24. We didn't catch him there. course, Trey Bartow, he got caught up with Tristan Allen. Silas Orta in his first ever Chick-Fil-A Cup Series race. Looks like he's pretty clean for Beast Racing. A lot of these guys did avoid it. Seth Cole, I think he avoided it. John Andrews, Nicholas Amadeo, all these guys, even Mitchell Henderson. Believe that the 95 of Mark Davidson also avoided it. But Andrew Ross did not in the number 35. We're going to go on board with somebody. I'll let Alex choose who we go on board with, and then we will get to the restart here in the Season 8 Daytona 500.
I'm on board here with Luke Jacobson here, and look at how he makes it through this crash. I mean, this is unbelievable. Look at this. You know, the wrecking in front of him, his spotter's telling him, you know, watch out, picking a lane, trying to be careful, and then here comes the second wreck. Boom, boom, down to the bottom. I mean, reaction was key right there, and he just came up out of nowhere and just held on to his position. He did a great job avoiding this wreck.
He did. You see that wreck once again from his onboard. He was really close to hitting a number 37 of Cody Sill, but thankfully he did not. And he's going to still be in the race for Wade Enterprises. Anyways, after that's all done, we're going to go ahead and tell you who got knocked out and get to the restart here in the Season 8 Daytona 500. Wyatt Quayle, the rookie driver who started 5th in this race, is now the leader here close to midway through Race 1 of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series 2019. We are back here at the Daytona International Speedway for the Season 8 Daytona 500 in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. We will be restarting on lap 17 of 40. 24 laps to go in the Great American Race for Wyatt Quayle. We'll have to see if he can hold off the field. He's got Brad Stover right behind him. Won the IROC race on Wednesday. He's on cloud 9 right now. Rookie of the Year last year. Alexander Rowe went winless last year, but he has won here at Daytona before, won the Valvoline 400 in season number 6. Nathan Baird, Carter Friesen, a couple of rookie drivers right there in the top 5. Hello to Jonathan Skivnicki. Great to have this guy back. He's driving for Durick Motor Racing, and he almost won this thing in both Season 1 and Season 5. Today might just be his day. Matt Dallio is behind him. The number 15 of Matthew Phillips, Season 1 champion Jesse Turner, and Hairgel Irvin Alonso, the top 10, back to racing in the Daytona 500. Take a look and see who got knocked out. Tristan Allen, Andrew Ross, Patrick Smith, Roger Ray, Trey Bartow, Cody Sill, Garrison Orr, Nathan Stapleton, Sebastian Cucalon, Ace Garcia, Daniel McMillan, and John Arndt. All out of the race. We only have ourselves 30 drivers left in the event here at Daytona.
And so far, just having 30 drivers left is really going to show a big interest here. Everyone's still got a chance, and even the little guys that have been hanging around the back right now have a chance here for the win at the moment. You can see Alexander Rowe trying to go for the pass for Brad Stover at the moment here for second. Looks like that bottom line's not coming in at the moment, with Brad Stover holding that outside groove pretty well here, and along with the draft holding on by the leader right now.
But Wyatt Quayle holding on. He might get that extra bonus point for leading the most laps. And in the Strict Points Championship for the first time ever in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series, every point means everything. And Wyatt Quayle, rookie driver, he's got a little bit of experience on Yapafan, so he's not a completely new driver to the sport. But first time racing in this big event, and he's leading the field halfway through. But he's got a veteran right behind him in Alexander Rowe, Carter Friesen, and Matthew Phillips right behind him. Fisher G on the inside. And the Season 5 champion on the inside as well, Josh Marzak in the 34. 3 wide for the lead. Friesen to the inside of Rowe and Quayle.
Don't forget that number 97 in the middle lane right there, third to the middle lane, Steven Thompson. If he can be able to get back to the bottom or even try and hold that middle lane, he could be able to go to the front as well. I mean, doing pretty well so far in that number 97.
He definitely is. Matthew Phillips is here in the number 15 on the inside. He's going to go ahead and take the lead for Velocity Racing, Matt Tuck's team. This was the old Quintero Racing organization, and now a Dodge team. Now a 3-car team with teammates Andrew Ross and Michael Canto. Michael Canto's on that inside lane right now. He's behind Julius Anderson. Great to have him back He was in season number 6 full-time, not racing season 7, but he's back, driving for Hamill Racing Enterprises in the number 22 team. Here we go, Fisher G, his first Daytona 500. Teammates of Jonathan Skibnicki and Garrett Sonor at Durek Motor Racing. He's going to go ahead and take the lead away with help from Josh Marzak on the inside lane. We're 3 wide throughout this entire pack. And every single driver in this pack has a shot at winning the race. Fitzwater, Christian Master, great to see him back, but it's not going to be a win for him. They have fallen off. They're the only 2 slow cars in the field. Fisher G leads halfway through the Daytona 500.
Yeah, this is really going to be a good race here for Fisher G. However, if you look at down there, we have a battle for the lead going on. That bottom lane's coming in.
Josh Marzak taking it away out front. The last time he was here for the Daytona 500, he was out front and he stayed there. Will it be a second Daytona 500 victory for the American Motorsports driver? That's not going to happen right now. Julius Anderson to the inside for the race lead, and now that inside lane has come in very well. Was not like that in the first green flag run of the race, but now that's where you want to be. And here comes our pole sitter. He's moving his way back through the field. Andrew Miller still going for his first career Napa fan win. Be something else if it was here in the Daytona 500. Michael Canto to the inside of Julius Anderson. Not going to the inside of himself. It's impossible, even though this is a video game. But Julius Anderson in the middle. Help from Matthew Phillips with Michael Canto going for the lead. 3 wide to the inside. Got to watch out for these guys going 4 wide again. They're 3 wide throughout the entire field. That is a recipe for disaster here at Daytona. Josh Marzak holding on the outside. Outside lane getting a little bit more steam here. We'll see if Marzak can lead a lap here at Daytona.
I mean, this is really getting interesting here for this battle for the lead right now. Right now, the outside, inside, middle lane are all very strong here. I mean, the bottom lane is becoming a little stronger at this point, but to have the middle lane actually be pretty strong at the moment is kind of very interesting.
Looks like the inside lane is stalled out slightly. It's still moving up through the field. Michael Canto was able to lead lap 22, and here comes our pole sitter. Back to the inside, Andrew Miller. And the number 47. You don't really want to get stuck in the middle lane. You're not going anywhere if you're in the middle lane. You see guys like Matt Dallio and Jesse Turner at the back of this. All these Outer Island guys. How about Steven Thompson, Jesse Turner, and Matt Dallio all with each other right there. And 4 wide. Emily Anderson to the inside of Justin Roberts and Steven Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This could be good or this could be a recipe for disaster. I just got to see how they are off turn 2. If it's going to be easier or if it's just going to be just as hectic off turn 4. Looks like they're going to stay 4 wide. I don't like this. I truly do not like this. I mean, I feel like they're going to crash again heading into 4, and I do not like that Steven Thompson's there. If I have any advice for Steven Thompson right now, back out while you still can.
I don't know if they're going to be able to hold it together. They won't! Justin Roberts in the wall, and hard impact for Jesse Turner. Steven Thompson as well. Matt Dahlia drives away from it. Jonathan Skibnicki all torn up. Brad Stover and Alonso got spun, but I think you'll be safe. Steven Thompson all torn up in the 97. And such an unfortunate event for Jesse Turner. Got caught up right in that. He was right behind that accident when it occurred. And Justin Roberts for American Motorsports also torn up in the 38. The 99 of Brad Stover, last year's Rookie of the Year, also torn up for Titan Fury Motorsports. It's like this every year. Daytona 500 sees a lot of accidents. A lot of guys knocked out, but we still got a lot of guys out there. And Riley Spurley, his first Daytona 500, he's driving for Tanker Motorsports. He leads the field in the number 39.
Yeah, and I honestly hate it for the kid, Steven Thompson. Complete talent right there, was holding the middle lane pretty well, and unfortunately, just like that, crashed. And I truly hate it for the kid. I mean, he had talent and was coming in to this one with high hopes, and at the end of the day, it's going to be a wrecked race car. And money out the window right there. I hate it. I truly do. And I feel heartbroken. I feel heartbroken even more knowing that I used to win in that car last year, or last season, and now it's just wrecked.
It's a tough break for Steven Thompson. Had a good run going for him in this race. He avoided the first accident, but did not avoid the second one. And unfortunately, it's going to take him out of the rest of the race here in Daytona 500. Took out his teammate, Jesse Turner, as well. And the 38 of Justin Roberts is all torn up there. Jonathan Skibnicki as well. Hate to see him get involved in an accident. I see everybody. Matt Dalio avoided in the 79. All the outer island guys could have gotten involved in that accident, but thankfully Dalio slowed down in time and he just drove right away from it. Great job by Dalio to avoid that one. Might be the only 8-season veteran left in this thing, other than Fitzwater, but Fitzwater has damage and he's fallen off the pace.
Yeah, there's that, and also, let's talk about Herger Larvin Alonso here in the number 30. I mean, he spun out, but nearly got clipped out of the race. Just almost got skinned in the back and managed to hold the brake and be able to not slide down the banking completely. And, I mean, just, wow. He was able to make it through that thing.
It looks like he might be okay. I think he just spun, so we're going to have to see what Alonso does on the restart. He's behind Brad Stover, who's going to be a little bit slow on the restart. And Justin Roberts should be able to continue as well. I think he just spun around too, but either way, second accident of the day in the Great American Race in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series Season number 8. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the second caution here at Daytona. Well, it ain't Daytona 4Y without them wrecking off at turn 4, and Justin Roberts was in the middle there with Steven Thompson. Diego Yepez and moved his way to the inside, and Thompson clipped Roberts. Wyatt Quayle barely avoided this one. Great job by him, Brad Stover, Jonathan Skibnicki, and Jesse Turner. Huge kudos to Matt Dalio. His teammate was literally right in front of him with a torn-up race car. He slowed down perfectly and then drove right away and avoided everybody. And if this guy wins the race, that right there is the move of the race. It was a smaller accident. Thankfully, we didn't have a huge one there, and nobody flipped. We've yet to have a flip in this race, which I'm happy about. Never forget Max Neuwerf's flip here in season number 3. That was insane. But you see Alonso there in the 30, like you said, Alex. He almost got sideswiped by Brad Stover, and he actually did get hit just a little bit, but he should be good to go. He should be able to continue in the number 30.
Yeah, I mean, this is Daytona, and that just happened to be there. And as you said, we're lucky to yet have a flip. I think the officials here may have tuned down the motors a little to make it a little bit safer and a little less drastic for a potential wreck. So, who knows?
I'll tell you what the officials did. We toned down the wind speed. That is one of the key factors to the amount of accidents you get in an Inter 2003 race, is the wind speed. Not lying. Either way, let's go ahead and see what happened in real time to bring out the second caution here in the Daytona 500.
Yeah, 4 wide. It's not Daytona without 4 wide crashes, and it's very unfortunate here, especially for those. I mean, still an amazing job by Matt Dalio. And as I said before, just looking at Herger Larvin Alonso here, it nearly gets nicked by Brad Stover, and then we have a lot of other people, just good racers, good race cars torn up here today. And, I mean, at least on the plus side, no factory Dodge cars got taken out in this one, so.
Yeah, Dodge avoided it pretty well there. Of course, Outer Island Motorsports, the old NRLOA team, switching to Toyota. They did not have a good outing in that accident, especially for Jesse Turner. He got the worst of that one. Him and Steven Thompson. And Turner was nowhere to go when that accident occurred right in front of him. And I saw it too. I knew Turner was going to get involved if they crashed, and sure enough, I was right about that. See, Brad Stover there in the 99, heavy damage for him. That's a tough break for the Rookie of the Year from last year. Won't be a Daytona 500 victory for him. Jonathan Skibnicki won't be a Daytona 500 victory for him. This is probably going to be the first time he's failed to finish in the Daytona 500 in his Chick-Fil-A Cup Series career. Well, this might be it. This might be the final restart of the race. So I'm going to ask you right now, Alex, who do you think is going to win this race? Last year, the pole sitter won. It was Zachary Fitzwater. The pole sitter this year was Andrew Miller. He's going to be restarting third. Got good money on the 47?
I'm going to be honest right now. I truly do not know who's going to win this race, because this is such a Powerball race right now. in these last couple laps. I mean, lanes are going to form. There's going to be a lot of pack racing, and there's going to be a lot of lead changes. And I honestly have the feeling that there's going to be one more wreck before this race ends. It could be with 2 to go. It could be on the white flag, or even coming to the white flag, or even coming to the checkers. Either way, I honestly don't know who's going to win this, but I know it's going to be a very good finish, and I know these last couple laps are Powerball.
We have not had a last lap crash here at Daytona since the Daytona 125K in Season 2 of the Rockstar Pro Series. That's the only time it's ever happened on NapaFan. Let me tell you, when that happens, it gets intense, and it might happen here today. We're just going to have to see. Riley Spurley, his first full-time season in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series, rookie driver, his first Daytona 500, leads the field. It's going to be within 10 laps to go when we restart here in the Daytona 500. So I would like to apologize. It's going to be 12 laps to go, not within 10 laps to go. But hey, you know what? That just means more racing for the Daytona 500. And only 12 laps left in this race until we crown a champion in the Great American Race. Riley Spurley, rookie driver, leads the field in the number 39 for Tanker Motorsports. Mitchell Henderson, another rookie driver, development driver to Stuart Grattan, replacing him in the number 25 for North State Racing, runs second. Pole sitter Andrew Miller is third. Julius Anderson and dual number 2 winner John Andrews round out the top 5. Then it's Canto, Cole, Phillips, Marzak, and Silas Orta, rookie driver, rounding out the top 10. Coming to the restart with 12 laps to go. We'll see you got knocked out. Turner, Steven Thompson, Jonathan Skibnicki. Everybody else able to stay in the race. 27 drivers on the lead lap with 12 laps to go in the Daytona 500.
With this green flag, you can see right there a great restart by our leader, but for how long, though, will it last? I would probably say till about maybe the backstretch when drafts start to form in. And here we go, Andrew Miller going for second.
They are really spread out right now, but they're going to close right back in probably by this time next lap. John Andrews helping the 47 there on that inside lane. Seth Cole is here as well. And Josh Marzak, you got to watch out for this guy. He's won this thing before. He knows how to get it done, and right now he's the only guy in this top 10 who knows how to get it done in the Great American Race. Will he go 2 for 2 when his Daytona 500 starts? We're just going to have to find out. 11 to go in the Daytona 500. Andrew Miller back out front in the 47.
Yeah, this is really getting good here in these last couple laps here with 11 laps to go. Right now, going for the lead right now is 04 John Andrews with help from the number 34 Josh Marzak and the 83 in line there too, a Seth Cole. I mean, you know, this bottom draft is starting to show somewhere, and I mean, yeah, I thought they were going to go 4 wide back there for a second, but no, they hold on to 3 wide.
No, it was just 3 wide. Silas Orta, rookie driver. You got to watch out for this guy too. This is his first ever points race in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Just watch out for him for Beast Racing. Beast Racing won this thing last year. 10 to go in the Great American Race. Andrew Miller on the outside, holding on for another lap led in the 47. John Andrews trying to get to the inside of him. He won his dual race. He started 4th. I said in those dual races, starting up front might be very important. Look who we have. 2 guys who started top 5, 1-2 right now in the Daytona 500. John Andrews with help from Josh Marzak on the inside. Seth Cole is here. Matthew Phillips. Watch out for Silas Orta and Wyatt Quayle. A couple of rookies there on the inside. They might be a threat in this one. Another threat we got to watch out for is Gerald Alonso, who's slow in the number 30. Brad Stover, Christian Master, Justin Roberts, and Zachary Fitzwater. We've yet to see the chess match play out in this race where these guys have hit lap traffic. We've seen it in practically every Daytona 500, but we've yet to see it here today. And we might not see it because Alonso is just crossing the line right now. These guys are in turn 2. I don't know if they're going to be able to catch up to him before the end of the race. But either way, it's a deadlock up front between Andrew Miller and John Andrews, 2 of the highest qualifiers here in the Daytona 500.
Yeah, right now this is a big chess match here between Andrew Miller in the number 47 and 04 John Andrews. Right now, someone's got to make a move here before they can go to checkmate. And right now, I mean, I don't know who it's going to be at this point. I mean, John Andrews doing pretty good. Andrew Miller, I mean, they're kind of just deadlocked right here. Andrew Miller just leading that lap there by almost 0.02 of a second. So, as I said, this is getting pretty close here in the battle. As you can see, once again, John Andrews, I mean, he's going to get the advantage on the backstretch, but Andrew Miller somehow is making that outside groove hold here. And as I said, you know, Andrew Miller, he's making that outside groove hold.
Andrew Miller has led the past few laps in the number 47. He is getting that outside lane to work, but Andrews might get the advantage here. I don't know. They're going to be side by side at the line again, and Miller's going to get the advantage again. Miller just might end up leading the most laps in this race in the number 47. Now, I think Marzak's waiting, because he knows if he waits to make the move, it's going to be less time for everyone behind him to make a move. But you know what? He might go right now. And 3 wide for the lead. Marzak to the inside of Andrews and Miller. But he's not got any help on that inside, and he's going to fall back just slightly. But he might get the run to the inside entering turn number 3. No! Still side by side between Andrews and Miller.
Yeah, this is getting a really intense match here between these 3 drivers, Marzak, Andrews, Miller. I mean, these guys, they're just, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're becoming really well. Here we go. Marzak maybe making a move.
He's got help this time with 6 laps to go in the Daytona 500. And here we go for the lead. Josh Marzak on John Andrews and Andrew Miller. Silas Orta. How about Wyatt Quayle? How about Diego Yepes? He won the Smooth Fest. Will he win the 500? And how about Mr. Matt Dalio in the 79? He almost was involved in an accident with Jesse Turner and all those guys, and right now he's on the inside lane. He's got to hope for this inside lane to keep on moving, but it's not getting any advantage except for the lead. 5 to go for Josh Marzak in the Daytona 500.
Watch out for Silas Orta there. I mean, he may make a move here within these last 5 laps to try and take the lead. He's just got to find the right time and the right moment to take it. And in my opinion, in the last 2 laps, that's when you got to go.
Yes. That's what you got to do. Silas Orta. This is probably going to be the biggest story if Orta wins this race. Now, happened with Gabriel Wanderlei won this thing. It was his first Chick-Fil-A Cup Series start. His second ever Napa fan start. He won the Daytona 500. Same can be said for Silas Orta if he gets the victory. Marzak's going to clear. It's going to be 4 laps to go. That's going to move the inside a little bit farther up. Silas Orta the inside of Andrews and Miller as Marzak leads it late in the going. And they might run into Gillarv and Alonso before this race is done. We're just going to have to see. Silas Orta to the inside for the lead. Help from Full Frontal Motorsports and Wyatt Quayle and Diego Yepes on the inside.
Yeah, right now, Silas Orta, all he's thinking right now is, are you kidding me? We're going to try and win this Daytona 500 out of nowhere here. I mean, that would be very interesting to see.
I got to tell you, I have loved the fact that these guys have been able to stay out front for as long as they have. We haven't seen many lead changes in this thing, and it's getting good. Marzak leads again. It's 3 to go in the Daytona 500, and they will run into Gillarv and Alonso. Marzak's got to get that inside. He's got to be in the lane that does not get blocked by Alonso here, and most likely they're going to run into him down the back straightaway. This is going to get interesting. Marzak's going to get held up. No, he's going to try to go to the inside. He couldn't do it.
And there goes Silas Orta.
But he's going to get into the inside right there. It's far from over right now. The 2-car breakaway is not going to be able to withstand for too long. Wyatt Quayle to the inside. 2 laps to go in the Daytona 500. 2 rookies leading the field in the greatest race of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Will a rookie win the 500? You got to watch out for Marzak and Dalio. Dalio's going to move up high. I don't know if that's a good idea, but these guys are going to close in on these 2 leaders before this thing is done. Yepes, he won the Smooth Fest. He's trying to win the 500. And Lucas Jacobson, another rookie driver's up here as well. Same with Julio Caesar, uncharted driver. Start on the outside pole. He's up front. But Marzak in the 34 back to the inside. He's got no help. White flag in the air in the Daytona 500 for Wyatt Quayle in the 33, but here comes Josh Marzak in the 34, trying to win his second Daytona 500. He's got help from Diego Yepes and Lucas Jacobson. Wyatt Quayle trying to block, can't do it, and Marzak's got the advantage. I don't think they're going to close in on Brad Stover. So this is going to be for the race victory right here. Will Yepez go to the inside? It looks
Yepez
like he's going to try. He's going to stay behind Marzak.
And
here we go.
Marzak's going to win this.
It looks like he will. American Motorsports in the number 34 will Wyatt Quayle get a run on the outside. He will not. The first driver to win 2 Daytona 500s. Josh Marzak gets it for the second time in his career in the Daytona 500. American Motorsports, their first win in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. And Josh Marzak, his third win in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series and his second in the Daytona 500. The first driver to win multiple Daytona 500s. And he's won the only 2 he's participated in as well. Josh Marzak, your Season 8 Daytona 500 champion.
That's awesome right there. I mean, Marzak, he had a full head of steam there heading to 2 to go and coming to the white flag. And just right then and there, he just came up out of nowhere, pulled an unbelievable move, and in the end of the day, he's going to victory lane. That's awesome.
He shocked me the first time he did it. He did not shock me this time. He made so many moves like a veteran. Absolutely unbelievable what Josh Marzak did right there. He kept on blocking those lanes, and when those guys got out ahead, he was able to get to the inside of Alonso. If he got stuck behind Alonso anymore, he would have not won this thing. He was able to find his way to the inside and have all those guys help him to catch up to Wyatt Quayle and Silas Orta. And he was able to make the pass and edge out Wyatt Quayle at the line. And Josh Marzak again wins the Daytona 500. He's the first driver to win multiple Daytona 500s. Absolutely unbelievable, Alex. You gotta show some emotion. I know you're tired, but my goodness, this is history right here. First driver to win 2 Daytona 500s. How about that?
I mean, that is unbelievable, to be honest with you right there. Josh Marzak coming out of nowhere to pull 2 victories, or I should say 2 Daytona 500s. I mean, that's unbelievable. You just don't know. I'm astonished. I truly am.
And on top of that, the only 2 Daytona 500s he's won are the 2 he's participated in. He has not raced in any other Daytona 500, and he's won the 2 he's raced in. This guy is a legend at this point. If we ever have a Hall of Fame, this guy is going in, no question about it. And he's in the same number he drove in Season 5 as well. American Motorsports getting their first ever win in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Congratulations to Trey Wright on that one. That is a long time coming for him. They went the entire season last year without a victory, and they get the biggest one of the season to open up Season 8. And how about Josh Marzak? I mean, he came out of the blue to come back, and he just comes back and wins the Daytona 500. He has shown everybody that he is ready to win a championship, and he drove one of the most impressive races I've ever seen. The way he was blocking and making moves down the backstretch there was unbelievable, and hats off to Josh Marzak for the victory. Here are the official results. And you're going to see right there Josh Marzak getting the victory. How about that one, Alex? Just holding off those guys to get the win ahead of a couple of rookies as well. I mean, you have Wyatt Quayle there, only 2 100ths of a second behind him. Diego Yepez, after winning the Smooth Fest, gets third. Great run for him. Silas Orta and Lucas Jacobson, a couple of rookies right there. But then behind those guys, it's Mr. Matt Delio, and great run for him. Nathan Baird, Julio Caesar, Fisher G, and John Andrews, the top 10 here today for the Great American Race. Take a look as the rest of the starting lineup, or should I say the rest of the finishing results, roll on your screen right there. I don't know what else to say about this one, but it was definitely an interesting Daytona 500, but it was a very normal one as well. But they only hit a lap car once. It wasn't the chess match like we normally see where they constantly hit him. They only hit Alonso once, and it almost messed Marzak up completely, but he was able to get past him and hold on to the race lead and the race win. I have a feeling he's going to call me later today, because he did so when he won the first time in Season 5. Of course, he's a personal friend of mine. He won it the first time, and how about about that? I mean, that's unbelievable. Second time he's won the Daytona 500. It's so amazing. It's the first time it's ever happened. I want to live the moment. That's why I keep on repeating it. So I'm sorry if I keep on repeating it, but it's amazing, and I really find it amazing, and Alex finds it amazing, and you should find it amazing too. But either way, a lot of guys getting knocked out. Jesse Turner, Stephen Thompson, Donovan Skibnicki, Tristan Allen, Andrew Ross, Patrick Smith, Roger Ray, Trey Bartow, Cody Steele, Garrison Orr, Nathan Stapleton, Sebastian Cucalon, Ace Garcia, Daniel McMillan, and John Arndt. All done. And Alonso, the only guy that finished a lap down. 26 guys finishing on the lead lap. Oh boy, what a race. 2 cautions, no flips. After the speed weeks we saw, great to see no flips. And Alex, what a race. What a race. Final thoughts on this one, and what are you looking forward to the rest of this season with what we saw here today?
Honestly, this race was a great race here today. I mean, a lot of action, a lot of knowing, what the reaction time is between a driver who's trying to avoid a wreck and make it through it. And, I mean, a great finish all in all. And I think it's going to be a great season. We're going to see a lot of new winners. And, I mean, we're going to see some veterans also at the same time probably return to their former glory like they used to, the same way with Josh Marzak here today.
Yeah, a lot of veterans returning to the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series here in season number 8, and I think they're going to shine strong this season. It's going to be a lot like season 5. We had a lot of veterans in season 5. They won a lot in season 5. I think it's going to be like that this season as well. How about Josh Marzak? I mean, he didn't go anywhere. He came right back and won the Great American Race, so...
Yeah.
It's just the first one. We got 27 races left in the season. Marzak's going to be the points leader exiting today's event, but looking long-term in the championship, do you think he's going to be a threat to win it, or do you think long-term, when we get to these intermediate and short tracks, you think other drivers are going to succeed? Because Marzak has won 3 times in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. They've all come at super speedways, kind of like Michael Waltrip a little bit there. So what do you think is going to happen as the season goes along?
I'm not quite sure right there, to be honest with you. I mean, don't get me wrong. Josh Marzak is very good at the super speedways, don't get me wrong. But if he does manage to pull off an intermediate win, I'm not going to say I'll be shocked, but I mean, I think that'll be an interesting way right there. As you said before, a lot of veterans coming back, not only in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series, but also there are some coming back into the Rockstar Pro Series, including myself, after pulling the Michael Schumacher, you would say, of retirement. So yeah, hopefully this season we have a lot of veterans come back to their former glory, such as Marzak, and who knows, maybe even veterans like myself in a lower tier series trying to come back to shine and maybe go for something this season. And I truly think that both today's race and races in the future across all NOFSRLs are going to be very interesting, especially those in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series and the Rockstar Pro Series.
And the IndyCar Series as well. Don't forget about that. Haven't even recorded that race yet. My sickness has put me back on a little bit of an odd schedule. It's Tuesday night when I'm recording this right now, and I have yet to do the IndyCar race, which you guys saw yesterday. So I don't know who won that, but congratulations to whoever won that. And congratulations to Joey Hightower for winning last Saturday in the Rockstar Pro Series. Great race there. He got the victory in the first race in that series, but big congratulations once again to Josh Marzak, your Season 8 Daytona 500 champion, the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. My goodness, can't keep this guy out of victory lane here, can you? Gonna be a fun season. Next week, it's the SunTrust 500. I know, Kids Colors is gone, and everyone's sad about it. Didn't expect that at all. But SunTrust 500 from Atlanta coming up. Next weekend at noon, next Saturday at noon from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. That's always a fun race. It went caution-free last year, and it gets spread out and it gets fun. Pit stops are going to be coming back. Not going to be as frequent as they were last season, but it's when the real season starts and when we get to see those points tally up, and that's when it gets interesting in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. But either way, Alex, thank you so much for joining me. It's a great race. An honor to have you in the booth with me. And I know I said we're going to have Griff Dog in the booth for this race. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. But I hope to have him in a race eventually. And go ahead and subscribe to him. Go ahead and subscribe to Alex as well. Sim Racing Central. He does some stuff. Mock Series stuff and all that. And yeah, it was a blessing to do this race with you. And hope we do more throughout the season.
Thank you. And of course, as I said before, in the Mock Series, I mean, I will say this now, I'm not going to be pulling a Schumacher in the mock series. I am basically almost pulling a Danica Patrick, if you would. The Daytona 500 in the mock series, that's going to be my last one. I'm going to do my last Indy 500, but there's going to be a switch. I'm going to be doing my last triple, and then that's my mock series career right there, done and dusted. I've done really well, and I want to try and win the races that I have yet to win.
All right, well, good luck in those, and thank you very much once again for joining me here for the Great American Race in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. So thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, thank you for bearing with me for being sick. This is the perfect time to get sick. Was this weekend, but thankfully we were able to pull this one together, get a bit of a deja vu for this one, because I feel like I've been sick before trying to do Daytona 500. I know it was for the finale in Season 4 I was sick, and we had to postpone that, but I ain't postponing this race. Make sure we get it done for you guys, because it's the biggest race of the year on this channel, and I want to make sure that you guys get it on time at least, and we did. So, hope you guys enjoyed. So yeah, here are the points for the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series of the race 1. We got 27 points races left in the season. And by the way, if any of you guys don't have throwback schemes yet, we're going to have the throwback race in North Wilkesboro. It's All-Star Race weekend in real-life NASCAR, so the weekend before Memorial Day, we're going to have that race. So send me your schemes. You can be a driver or a team owner, and just send them my way, and I'll have them in for that North Wilkesboro race, Southern States 400. So just keep that in mind, and yeah, I think that's about it for us. So we've been talking long enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. We've got the Xfinity Series on FS1 coming up at whenever that is. Do you know when that is, Alex? On Saturday?
I do not,
well,
but
it's coming up today. You guys should probably know when that is, so watch that. It's going to be fun, just like this race was. Thank you guys so much for watching. On behalf of Alex Bonsinor, I will see you guys later.
I wonder if I'm strange that I worry about the people in this digital age. As I scroll through all the faces, all the cars and all the planes, while they drift through all the stories, wishing they could be the same. So I think about my family and the world and how it spins, as I call up all the memories no machine can comprehend. From the first breath as a newborn child to the last dance of your teenage life.